advent of Europeans. Portuguese came first, then came Dutch, then English, then Danish, then French. Portuguese. Vasco da Gama was the first person to visit or arrive India from Cape of Good Hopes. At that time, Hindu ruler of Zamorin welcomed him. By 1502, Vasco da Gama made second visit and led to the establishment of trading stations at Calicut, Cochin and Canor and the fortification of the same. Significance: Portuguese, unlike other traders, wanted to monopolize trade in India. Pedro Alvarez Cabral established first factory at Calicut in 1500, embarked the era of European rule on Indian subcontinent. Francisco de Almeida 1505 to 1509 was the first governor appointed by the king to protect Portuguese interests, initiated the Blue Water Policy, Cartes system. Cartes system, it was a naval trade license or pass issued by the authorities without which trade was prohibited, and this was issued by Portuguese to eliminate foreigners from trading in India. Alfonso de Albrique secured strategic control of Indian Ocean, captured Goa from Bijapur rulers, captured Bhaktal from Sri Krishna Deva Rai 1510 of the Vijayanagar, and initiated the policy of marrying with the natives and settling in India, and banned the practice of sati in his area of influence. Considered to be the founder of Portuguese power in India. Nino de Cunha, from 1529 to 38, he shifted the capital from Cochin to Goa in 1530, conquered Diu and Basin from Gujarat. King Bahadur Shah established headquarters in Hooghly, Bay of Bengal. Pragmatic leader who expanded territory beyond western coastal region, Portuguese power expanded to eastern coast during this time. Portuguese state: north coastal region of Gujarat, west 60 miles coast of north from Mumbai to Daman and Diu, south Mangalore, Kannur, Cochin, Calicut, and east at St. Thomas in Chennai and Nagapattinam in Andhra Pradesh, Hooghly in West Bengal. Religious policies of Portuguese: initially hostile only towards Muslim, later towards Hindu also. In 1579, on request of Akbar, missionaries, Father Monstrate were sent to participate in Ibadat Khana debate and convert the Emperor Akbar to Christianity. Portuguese and Mughals. In 1632, Mughals captured Hooghly from Portuguese. Factor for the decline of Portuguese in India. Local factors: emergence of powerful dynasties in India, example Marathas. Outside factor: emergence of powerful Ottoman Empire. Local factor: reaction against Portuguese spiritual pressure due to their atrocious and activities. Rise of English and Dutch commercial ambition challenging the Portuguese supremacy. Rampant corruption, greed and selfishness along with piracy and clandestine trade practices of the Portuguese administration in India. An outside factor was the diversion of Portuguese colonizing ambitions towards the west due to the discovery of Brazil. Significance of the Portuguese: they initiated European era in India. Introduction of cannon on the ship, introduced European art of warfare. The art of silversmith and goldsmith flourished in Goa. Introduced pineapple, cashew nut, potato, tomato, chilies and capsicum. Introduced printing press. So these are the significance of Portuguese. Dutch was the second to come in India. Cornelis de Houtman was the first Dutchman to reach Sumatra and Bantam in 1596. United East India Company of Netherlands formed in March 1602 by the Charter of Dutch Parliament, had the power to wage wars, make treaty and build forts. Dutch factories in India. Dutch made first factory in Masulipatam in 1605, Pulicat in 1610, Surat in 1616, Bhimlipatan in 1648, Karaikal in 1645, Chinchura in 1653, Kasim Bazar, Barnago, Patna, Baslore, Nagapattinam in 1658 and Cochin in 1663. It covered both eastern and western coasts. Decline in India. The defeat of Dutch in the Anglo-Dutch rivalry and shifting of Dutch attentions towards the Malay archipelago. Battle of Bedrar 1759. The English defeated the Dutch. After prolonged warfare, both the parties compromised in 1667, by which British agreed to withdraw all their claims on Indonesia and the Dutch retired from India. English formation. On December 31, 1600, Queen Elizabeth I issued The charter to company named as Governor and Company of the Merchant of London, trading into the East Indies, which gave the company monopoly to trade in the East Indies for 15 years. Timeline 1600. The East India Company was established. 1609. William Hawkins arrived at Jahangir's court but failed to get permission due to opposition by Portuguese. 1611. Captain Middleton obtained permissions of the Mughal governor of Surat to trade there and also started trade in Masulipatam. In 1630, a factory of East India Company was established at Surat. In 1605, Sir Thomas Roe, the ambassador of King James I, arrived at Jahangir court. In 1616, the company established its first factory in South in Masulipatam. In 1618, Thomas Roe succeeded in obtaining two Farman confirming free trade with exemption from inland tolls and permission to establish factories at Agra, Ahmedabad and Bharuch. In 1632, the company got this golden Farman from Sultan of Golconda, which ensured safety and prosperity of the trade. In 1633, the company established its first factory in the East India in Hariharapura, Basalore, Odisha. In 1639, Madras was given by the Chandragiri chief to English, and soon Madras with the Fort St. George placed Masulipatam as the English headquarters on the east coast. In 1651, the company was given permission to trade at Hooghly, Bengal, Kashmir Bazar, Patna and Rajmahal. In 1662, the British King Charles II was given Bombay as dowry for marrying a Portuguese princess, Catherine of Braganza. In 1667, Aurangzeb gave the English a Farman for trade in Bengal. In 1687, Bombay was made the headquarters by shifting seat of the Western Presidency from Surat to Bombay. In 1691, due to some conflicts, Mughal raided Hooghly. Then the Job Charnock negotiated with the Mughals for the return to the Sultanate. In 1691, the company got the imperial order to continue trade in Bengal in lieu of payment of 3,000 rupees a year. 1700, the city of Calcutta grew from the development of three villages, Sultanate, Govindpura and Kalikata, secured from the Mughal governor of Bengal, and fortified settlement was named Fort William in 1700, and it became the seat of the British power in India till 1911. In 1770, the Mughal Emperor Farooq Siyar issued a Farman called Magna Carta of the company, giving the company a large number of trade concessions in Bengal, Gujarat, Hyderabad it included. The company's import and export were exempted from duties. Permissions to issue the dastaks for transportation of goods, duty-free trade in Hyderabad. Company minted coins to act as currency throughout Mughal Empire. Danish East India Company was founded in 1680. Settlement in India, Tranquebar near Chennai and Sirmapur in Bengal. They were the foremost promoters of Christianity in India. They eventually dispensed of their settlements to the English. The French Foundation. In 1664, Colbert, a minister of Louis XIV, said that the foundation of French East India Company, it was granted 50-year monopoly on French trade in Indian and Pacific Ocean. Rise and fall of Dupleix. In 1730, he became the governor of Chandranagar. In 1741, he became the governor of French territory in India. Dupleix was extremely talented, took advantage of the rivalries among the local rulers and saw it as a godsend opportunity to establish French Empire in India. In 1746, with the help of French fleet, Dupleix seized Madras, now Chennai, but failed to capture the neighboring British fort of St. David. He twice defeated Battle of St. Tom, army sent to relieve Britain's ally, the Nawab Awaruddin of Carnatic. The Treaty of Axilla Chaplet endeavored the war in Europe in 1714 and restored Madras to British, but Dupleix embarked on further schemes for French aggrandizement in India. Sensing the military weakness of various contending princes in South India, he forged local alliances with them that were aimed at ruining British East India Company. He supported Chanda Sahib's claim to the Nawabship of Carnatic, and when British supported a rivalry candidate, a large private war ensued 1751 between the two companies. Mostly as a result of the exploits of Dupleix's chief rival, the brilliant young British soldier Robert Clive, all the French forces except those in the Deccan were defeated. Dupleix's grand scheme continued to topple for 2 more years, and French finances were exhausted in the struggle. In 1754, Dupleix was recalled to Paris when he unsuccessfully issued French East India Company for money he claimed and he spent on his account. Dupleix remained discredited in France and died in despair, obscurity and relative poverty. Settlement in India. In 1667, Surat by Francisco Caron. In 1669, Mareka Masulipatam patent from Sultan of Golconda. In 1673, Chandranagar near Calcutta, permission from Shahista Khan, the Mughal Subadar of Bengal. Pondicherry, nerve center of French power in India. In 1673, Sher Khan Lodi, the governor of Vaikontpura under the Bijapur Sultan, granted Francisco Martin, the director of Masulipatam factory, a site for a settlement. There, Pondicherry was founded in 1674, which developed as a place of importance. Early setbacks to the French East India Company. War between Dutch and French. The Dutch captured Pondicherry in 1693. The Treaty of Ryswick in 1697 restored Pondicherry to the French, but Dutch garrison held it on for 2 more years. War of Spanish succession broke out in Europe, thus French had to abandon their factory at Surat, Masulipatam and Bantnam in early 18th century. Reorganization of French companies. In 1720, the French company was reorganized as Perpetual Company of the Indies and headed by Lenoir Dumas between 1720 and 1714. Also, French India occupied Mauritius and reunion in the southern Indian Ocean. Anglo-French rivalry. Cause for the rivalry for the protection and expansion of commercial interests. Political development in South India and Europe provided pretexts to contest their claims, which culminated in three Carnatic Wars. Carnatic War gave the name given by the Europeans to Coromandel Coast and its hinterland. Carnatic Wars. The name of war, First Carnatic War 1714 to 48. It was an extension of Anglo-French rivalry in Europe, Australian War of Succession, Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle in 1748. Madras was handed back to English and the French in turn got their territory in the North America. This war is remembered for the Battle of Saint-Thome in Madras fought between French forces and the forces of Anwaruddin and the Nawab of Carnatic, ally of English. Second Carnatic War 1749 and 54. French and English used regional dynasty disputes to as pseudo war fronts. Treaty of Pondicherry in 1755. The war remained inconclusive, but it undermined the French power in South Asia vis-a-vis the English as the French faced heavy financial losses, so they recalled Dupleix. Third Carnatic War 1758 to 63. The background 7-year war was taking place in 1856 and 63 in the Europe, and the course of war was in 1758. The French army captured the English fort in 1758. English inflicted heavy losses on the French fleet. General Ayr Couty of the English totally routed the French army under Arthur de Lally and took Bussy as prisoner. A decisive war was known as the Battle of Wandiwash in 1716 and 61 in Tamil Nadu. Treaty of Paris was signed in 1763. The French were allowed only use Indian settlement for only commercial purposes and fortification of settlements were banned. The victory at Wandiwash left the English East India Company with no European rival in India. Causes of French failure: private versus government. The English company was a private enterprise, thus less government control over it, and the company could take instant decisions when needed without waiting for the approval of the government. The French company was controlled and regulated by the French government. Naval power. The English Navy was superior to the French Navy. Regional supremacy. The English had Calcutta, Bombay, and Madras, whereas French had only Pondicherry. Historian has summed up situation that Dupleix did a cardinal blunder in finding keys to India and South India. Clive tried to find out in Bengal and succeeded. Preferences. The French subordinated their commercial interests to territorial ambitions, which made French companies short of funds. In spite of their imperialistic motives, the British never neglected their commercial interests. Leadership. A major factor in the success of the English in India was the superiority of the commander in British camp. The above characteristics also helped English defeat other Europeans in India. The next topic will be wars fought by British. So this was the advent of the